Oh, wait. Sorry. I messed that up. Hold on. Here we go. I got to fix this.
How dare you?
Welcome to a surprise Christmas episode of Sequel Rights, the podcast where we take a look at the franchises that make you go, they made how many of those? And we give each and every sequel a fair trial. My name is Justin Camps, and I'm here with...
Elizabeth Helly.
And...
It's still Christmas, Tyler Hymanson?
It's still Christmas!
It's always Christmas in our hearts.
Ah, yes.
Christmas forever.
We are back this week talking about the very festive Look Who's Talking Now, the final film in the Look Who's Talking trilogy. And,
for now.
For now. And we've got a really special guest with us. Megan Goldstein is back. Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Huzzah!
What up, Megan? Thanks for being here.
Of course. Hello. Hi. Happy to share my parenting expertise.
Oh, yeah.
You're now in the 3 Timers Club, so I'm going to start sewing your smoking jacket now for
that's
time. Yeah.
We brought Megan on specifically because she has a cat, and that is very not relevant for this episode.
Because she also noticed that John Travolta looked a little haggard in this movie.
We're running around the house with the stationary shot down the hallway. I was like, how many kids do they have in this movie? Like, I don't, and then it turned out to be 2. And I was like, is it, I only have 1 child, but like, really? Like 2 kids? Like, I don't, 2 on 2?
Oh, man. Well, before we dive too far in here, Eliz, where can people reach out to us?
Yes, you should email us at sequelrights@gmail.com with your suggestions of where we should go next with these franchises. And you can also reach out to us on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Sequel Rights.
And please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. 5 stars goes a long way to having other people find us. And that's what we want. And we super appreciate it.
That's right. All right. Well, let's travel all the way back to 1993 for a holiday classic. Look Who's Talking Now.
This holiday season, things are not too merry for America's favorite family.
Hello, honey. Mine's pink today. That's festive.
Mom's out of sorts.
I was fired!
Dad's overworked.
I'm in London. I'm in San Francisco.
We're in Dallas.
And the kids
Mom, you need a dog.
We've been through this 100 times.
just aren't in the spirit.
Christmas stinks.
Wasn't there ever anything in the world that you wanted more than anything?
I'll never have breasts.
Okay.
Now, the family that has everyone talking
Julie, get back here.
is going to the dogs.
I got papers.
Who cares? I go on papers.
Let's move it. Move on this. Kid, get me out of here.
Look Who's Talking Now.
This is where we live.
Oh, my God. So, had anyone seen this movie beforehand?
No.
To the best of their knowledge.
Megan, did you have any experience with this franchise? Had you seen the other 2 at all?
I had seen the first one, but it's been a decade plus, and I didn't rewatch it.
Fair enough.
Smart.
So,
I'm kidding.
They had 2 kids. That's it.
Yep.
I mean, I'm getting that from this. I think I would have preferred if this movie was like, oh, we randomly had twins and now we have 4. Like, I feel like that would have been better.
No, that would have been more fun and also would have been less upsetting than having the exact same opening title sequence, but with dog sperm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, man.
Which, as I was watching with Abby, I was just like, is this dog sperm?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was kind of like, oh, so that's how it works, which makes sense, but I hadn't ever thought about it before. I was like, oh, multiple eggs. All right.
Also, yeah, can't let the movie go by without a super rapey dog in there.
All of the men are super aggressive.
Yeah, God. Why? Why is this dog talking like this?
Well, because he's the Penguin and he's a villain.
Yeah.
This is right after Batman Returns.
It's funny. So I knew that this one had talking animals because it's obvious from the poster, but I had no idea it was a Christmas movie.
That was a super surprise to
I
me,
was
too.
shocked.
Yeah.
I was like,
think
why
if-
did we do this in December?
Yeah, I think if we had known that it was both a talking dog movie and a Christmas movie, we maybe wouldn't have picked it right after the Beethoven talking Christmas movie.
Yes.
It's hard to imagine why this hasn't entered the canon of, like, you know, the greatest children's Christmas movies of all time. Oh, except for that then all kids would be exposed to the whole Santa isn't real thing.
Yeah.
Slightly, like, upsetting. I know it's PG-13, but I was like, what if my 2-year-old, like, somehow, like, recognizes what's being said? Like, is this bad?
Yeah, and also, like, it's one of those things where, like, the Santa Claus has messed with this. There's some other things where it's like a kid has the false narrative that Santa's real, but at the end they find the real Santa. And I guess it kind of tries to
CB
do
radio
that, where
Santa.
it's just like, oh, listen to this old ham radio. Like, what's that, sleigh bells? But it does not succeed in that at all.
Well, no, because you've gone way too far during the whole film with the kid thinking, like, it's like you've already exposed the narrative. You can't undo it, you know?
Right. Oh, boy,
It's not convincing at the end that maybe that is Santa.
No.
Even though, I don't know. It was funny.
There's a lot about the climax of this movie that we can talk about, but let's just talk about the setup.
Yeah.
And also where we left them in the last movie, because, like, didn't he already have a corporate jet pilot job?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for some kind of like concierge, you know, airline thing. But it seems like he's trying to get in-house as, like, you know, a dedicated pilot.
But apparently he was driving the cab in between.
Yeah, it seems like he had been fired and rehired several times. I don't know.
The cab is just.
I'm playing catch up, but is that a normal, like a pilot can't find any work and ends up as a cab driver? Like, is that like a?
So in the first movie, he was a cab driver who was doing, like, flight training so that he could become a commercial pilot. And then the second film, he got a job as a corporate private jet pilot. And then in this movie, he got the same job, but was also driving the cab.
It's called character development.
It's called character reduction.
Yeah, and I think the cab is just like their normal car. They don't have any other car.
I mean, in New York City, sure. Why not?
Yeah, I suppose.
You could probably get away with some creative, like, parking problems by
Yes.
driving a cab in New York.
And get free Senor Pizza.
Yeah.
Although they dress their child, their boy, as if he is a full-blooded Canadian citizen. There's denim all the time.
Well, it did shoot in Vancouver, right?
Okay, yeah, these are all been in Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. He is. Yeah, that's a Canadian boy.
So they tried a lot of stores, and that's all they could find. Denim everywhere. Sorry, Canadian listeners. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
they're proud of
villain,
it.
the villain of our film is a obviously must be unfulfilled and lonely business lady who, you know, because she's a successful business lady who has no children and family, she decides to throw herself at a, like, low-level pilot / cab driver schlub guy.
Fairly late in the movie as well, like, because it seems like the fine for most of the movie.
I don't know.
Sitting on him from, like, the very beginning.
Yeah, that's what I got
Also,
too.
It's very strange that one of the dogs in this movie is not some dog that she bought for them, but her dog.
that she just gives them.
Yeah, that
She doesn't want anymore.
Yeah, and she never asked for it back.
No sense. Also, what is Diane Keaton doing in this movie as a dog's voice? Did that, like, throw anybody out? Like, my husband was like, wait, that's not Diane Keaton. Like, I'm telling you it's Diane Keaton. He's like, but
It didn't sound like her. Yeah.
But why?
why? But why?
I mean, because her agent said that Bruce Willis did the voice in the last two.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Roseanne did the
Okay.
female voice in the last one.
Well, at the time, that was a big deal.
I hope that she had to audition with the mud monologue where she's talking
Oh my
about
God.
the mud between her fingers. Or her paws, I guess. Sorry, not fingers.
There's nothing more sensual than this filth.
Was your guys' consensus of the first film upon, I assume you guys had taken a break from an initial viewing, say, as children. Did you feel like the first film was, like, kind of solid? Or what, is that, like, how it kind of has gone?
I think we all gave it
It's
sevens.
Yes.
It's dated, but yeah, it's pretty unique in that field, especially from a female director and the late 80s.
It was like a lot funnier too,
yeah.
and like they do a few of the dream sequences in these, but that one was like a lot of them. It was more like just quick cutaways that she would be like, oh, like, you know, that she was
They were more
fantasizing.
absurdist and they had more edge, where these cutaways and dream sequences were insane.
Yes, I did really love the frozen John Travolta one though. So I was like, did someone like build a wax version of him for that or what?
Wax Travolta?
It was pretty funny. Yeah, this one did have a lot of weird dream sequences.
Lucid dreaming with a dance number.
Yeah, I did like, there was that one cool shot where she like walked out of her dream sequence into his.
I also kind of like that.
The frame like moved. Yeah, it looked like she walked through the frame. That was kind of.
You know what's really funny is that for a commercial that the company I work for was talking about, they were looking for references of split screens merging. And I missed this one.
Oh,
but now I know it exists.
Yeah, you can.
Could you?
The hidden gems you can find in the third Look Who's Talking film.
This movie is apparently like well remembered by some subset of people that probably watched some particular cable channel in which it was on a lot. I don't know, but you know,
Encore 2.
and also because it's the most recent, but it was really easy to find like the two kids. I mean, obviously David Gallagher is one of them, but the other girl, and there's way more articles about like what happened to the kids from Look Who's Talking Now, even more than the last two films. I guess
That's
maybe
weird.
Do you think
it's
that might be
easier.
partially because it gets like some sort of play, or in the past has gotten some sort of play because of the Christmas thing, though?
Maybe, yeah, and maybe it's just lower hanging fruit because one of them was you know a big child star, I guess. Anyways,
It's
but
kind of
So,
weird
right.
watching it without knowing what it was, though, because the first Christmassy scene, it was like, oh, there's a Christmas scene, and then like 2 scenes later, it's like, oh, like it's like Christmas forever.
I had that
Yeah.
same. I had
It
that
is
same
Christmas
experience.
forever in this movie.
Yeah.
it seems like months are going by.
It's months.
Yeah.
The timeline is so fucked up.
Yeah.
There was like there's a very major mall Santa scene, and then I feel like 20 minutes goes by and there's no Christmas at all, and then suddenly like Jingle Bells comes on or something, and you're like, oh shit, what? That's still Christmas?
No. 20 minutes later, she's putting the decorations on the tree.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
maybe because
And it's been like months. Like he's been trapped. Like he's like, oh, like, well, like you've been gone for 2 weeks. And it's like you were already been fired, which we'll talk about. You got a job at a mall Santa. The kids have been there. It's been multiple weeks since then. And now you're just putting the Christmas decorations up.
Well, we know Christmas starts like, October 31st now. Or
yeah, and
before that.
maybe because she was working
yeah,
as an
that's
elf, she was allowed to bring her kids to like the soft open in like mid-October where they were like practicing to get ready for Santa. That's gonna be my theory.
They had to cut in line.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. It felt long.
Christmas forever.
Another thing that's like weirdly endured from this movie, which I didn't know about until looking into the actress, but the gif of the little girl like scrunching up her face and shaking the hairbrush angrily is like a oft used reaction
Oh,
gif,
really?
which I had no
Oh.
idea.
Huh.
Just for being mad.
Right.
Yeah.
I did
So
think
if
that
you-
the kids were pretty cute in this movie. So
Yeah.
she was
If you
she was my
Google
favorite.
angry
I had
hairbrush
no
girl.
idea what it was fun from.
Yeah, angry hairbrush girl.
That's funny.
You'll see it. Which did not occur to me at all, but anyway.
Can we talk about the sequence where Brox leaps from a moving, I think it's a moped, but I guess it's a motorcycle, and could have just been a cut, but they tried to make it as dramatic as possible, where it's just like, we need to make sure that you know that this dog got fucked up when he jumped up.
Like the puppy rolled around on the concrete. Yeah.
Well, it's also that and like a POV, like crazy gimbal shot, and it's just like, why is this happening?
I gotta say, I really hated the dog vision in this movie. It was
Yes.
so disorienting every time it happened.
It was
It just looked like that someone fucked up the film, and it didn't look like it was actually supposed to be a good effect or something.
It's them trying to do like the widest lens possible, but like it makes it flat. Like it makes it look like a 2D movie.
It felt like if I was seeing this in the theater, I might get a little sick watching those scenes.
Yeah.
Because there's such a stark contrast between like the regular looking scenes and these like, fisheye lens scenes or whatever. It was gross. I didn't like it.
Also, for being a dog movie, it took a really long time for the dogs to be in the movie.
Right. I feel like that's a little bit how the last one was too. It was like, it didn't focus as much on the kids as it does the parents, and then the dogs. Yeah, it's the same in this one where it's like the dogs seem like the B plot.
I was gonna respond to you and saying, well, I mean, I guess you have to like favor your stars, like you have to favor the names in the movie, but then I'm like, you did have Diane Keaton and Danny DeVito as the
yeah.
So.
It's almost like they got them after the movie had been completely edited, and they're just like, "Hey, Diane Keaton, like, how'd you like to make $10,000 for 12 hours of work?"
We kind of have a loser film here, so we need the biggest names possible to try and save it.
Yeah, and Danny DeVito was just like,
"Swing."
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
And the dogs weren't like saying anything particularly original or funny that isn't just plainly obvious about what was going on, or like, that we haven't seen in 500 other dog movies,
or that the first Benji movie communicated wordlessly.
Yeah, like all the stuff they were saying was just kind of obvious. I think what was great about the first two was like seeing how the kids perceived things goofily or just straight up incorrectly, and the comedy quote that comes with that. But this one, the dog was just like, I want to have a home, I'm a fancy dog, we don't like each other, like it was just very like they were just kind of saying what was going on.
Yeah, the only mildly cute thing I thought was when Diane Keaton was asking Rox what his name was, and he was like, it's no. That
was mildly cute.
Yeah,
I agree.
they say no all the time, so that must be it. that was the only like slightly cute thing that I was like, oh, that's kind of mildly clever.
Living in a house with a 2-year-old, we watch a lot of Homeward Bound, and I really missed like the cuteness of those animals in this movie.
What year was that? This was after that?
93, maybe?
Oh, same year. Right oh my God.
Oh, no wonder there's talking dogs in this movie.
Don't quote me. Let me check that.
I'm looking.
I was like, if that's the case, then
93.
Yeah.
93.
Oh, wow. Then this movie needs to just wrap it up and go home. Because Homeward Bound is a masterpiece.
Clearly a ripoff.
It's really great. It's a really great movie.
Yeah.
Homeward Bound, to be clear.
Oh, yeah. Homeward Bound, of course.
Yes.
Of course. Yeah, we really need to do that one sometime, but not next.
I was going to say, that's a good, if you guys are doing the dog thing, you might as well go down the...
Just keep the
we
dog
just
movies
finished
going.
Beethoven.
8 Beethoven movies. This is what we're saddled with.
I think there's only 3 Homeward Bounds, but I think they drop off dramatically after the first one.
I like the second
Lost
one.
in San Francisco is pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so we already talked about how Mikey is struggling with the existence or non-existence of Santa. And of course, because it's, as we've hypothesized, contractually in every John Travolta contract, he must have a dance scene. So him
Travolta must dance.
Kirstie Alley and the little girl decide to do a lip sync to the Chipmunks thing or whatever, which, by the way, the little girl had her own dance coach just for this, who was credited in the credits of her private dance coach. And she's very cute in it, and it's funny, but I'm just like, man, if John Travolta was your dad, you'd probably be like, singing would not and dancing would not work anymore. You'd just be like, screw you.
Stop
Get
it.
the F out of my room. Like, yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get more angry because they probably do this 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I did think that scene was really cute.
I was going to say, if that scene was dropped into a different movie, I feel like it would be quite, there was a lot to like about it. It just didn't work because of the rest of the movie or something.
Yeah.
Well, that was the scene that was the closest in line with the chemistry and charisma of the two leads and everything else that was happening with this franchise. I would say it's the only glimmer of hope that you see in this movie as compared to the rest of the franchise.
That one actually upset me a little bit because that song,
the Chipmunks?
yeah, that song is like our family's like main like coming down the stairs at Christmas. Like my parents are like, they hit play on that song. They're like, all right, come down. And that is like our main thing. And then that we let the chipmunks
So
play
they didn't
the rest
do
of
it
the
right.
time. Yeah, so I was just like, no, Travolta, get out of my Christmas memories. So yeah, I was like, blasphemy. But
well, when you can finally go back to have Christmas with your family, you can do that dance with Gemma and like
Yeah.
raise her up and everything. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, they did play that song over our Zoom Christmas while we were opening presents this year.
Aw.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, God damn it, with that scene. So I didn't like it, but I get it. It was, I guess it was somewhat cute. But
worked. Also, you needed something like that to, and this is not having rewatched the first two, but like Travolta's character is so helplessly hapless that like you have to have him do something that ridiculous and endearing. Otherwise, it's like no one is this much you. Like it's, your character is too much. So it's like it has to be to the max or something. I don't know.
yeah, he's kind of a doofus in this movie. More so than the last movie, he was like an asshole. And this one, he's like, I didn't have any idea she was hitting on me. What?
A goddamn idiot. Well, no, not only that is that like he calls from multiple phone booths where it's clear later in the movie where there's a phone on the plane. Also, I take issue with my hometown being a punchline in all movies where he's like, I'm in Paris. I'm here. I'm in Reno. It didn't even make the trailer. It was cut out of the trailer.
Yeah. He said, I'm in Dallas.
How is it that he becomes like this like super just kind of idiot doofus? Like, is it just because he lost his job? Like, if he wasn't this way in the last movie, like what is that?
New writers.
He was kind of a doofus, but like he was really endearing and nice and had good intentions and really cared about the kids.
But he was smart. He wasn't like, it wasn't like he seemed like he was dumb.
And in the second movie, he raises the point about how having a corporate job would give him less time with the kids, and that would be a real problem for him. And it's even a whole thing where like her parents have set him up with a job, and he's like, I don't want to do a job that like they set me up for. And then in this movie, they just throw all that away.
I was like, where are you going with this?
I mean, putting aside the fact that like clearly nobody would be able to interact with that woman and not, it's totally unbelievable that he wouldn't understand what's going on. But,
yeah.
But also like now that you're saying what he was like in the previous two films, it's like, what happened there with like the plot? Like, I really don't get it now.
I mean, I think the part about him, having to work to support the family, especially when she doesn't have a job and like hating, being away from his kids and stuff. Like, I guess that part I kind of was like, I buy it because like, it's really hard. That's a really hard decision. I mean, I know there were times where my parents went through stuff like that, where it was kind of like, we can't be there as much as we want to be. So I felt bad for him. But yeah, it was like, how do you not see what this lady is doing? Like, she's literally doing no work. She's only hitting on you. Yeah. And that is like her one purpose in life.
She's wearing a trench coat with no bra.
Yeah.
while your wife meets you on the runway again for some reason, because we have to run to the airport every time.
And she buys you clothes? Like, come on, man. Come on.
And
also, sorry. There's the scene where he's wearing this insane blazer, and like the mother-in-law and his wife are just like, my God, he looks amazing. She must have bought from him. And it's the dumbest jacket I've ever seen.
Neon blue. Yeah. Fluorescent blue.
I'm just going to say too, like this lady, even though she's our villain and she sucks, like she's not even a real human because like if you really were this successful business lady and you wanted to have an affair or have a boyfriend, like why are you going to go for this random old guy that has a wife and kids? Like there's so much other, there are so many other people. And like I could see if they had some great connection and then she was like obsessed with him, but there really wasn't any particular reason that she likes John Travolta. instead of any
John
other person in the
Travolta's
world.
stunning good looks.
And she makes a
but
point of being
even-
like, I was on to you from the start. You're like,
even if she has a thing for him, her plan to like culminate this is terrible. Like she's just like, I know, I'll lure him away from his family on Christmas Eve.
stupid.
That's hot.
She clearly thought she was going to win, because otherwise, why would you do it on that date? Yeah.
Because she's not a real person, to Elis's point.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean,
fair.
who could resist this guy? I was like, he's got his own Jeff Goldblum laugh moment
Yeah.
in this movie.
Oh, it's really bad. So we did mention that Kirstie Alley gets a job as a mall elf with a Santa because she loses her job at the accounting firm and decides, well, I certainly couldn't go. And her mom has the power to get people audited,
Yeah.
but not the power to give her just another accounting job.
Right. It seemed like it wouldn't be that hard. If she was that good, then
Just
why?
start your own practice.
Yeah, exactly.
You have
Well, like,
she's like,
they-
all my clients. She mentions all her clients.
And they specifically leave in the whole explanation that she didn't lose her job because she's not good at it. Like they left
Right.
in like a whole line to explain this, but she's going to be a mall elf.
She's like, you're the best accountant, and so you're the most expensive. So we had to let you go. And it's just like, okay, well, I'll just take all my clients with me then, and then live a happy life.
Yeah.
You'll get there's like non-compete, things.
Sure.
I mean,
Yes, absolutely. But like mall Santa, like mall elf is
that's
That's so far
at
to
least
fall.
be doing the bookkeeping of the department store.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot in between mall elf and like best accountant ever. Like,
Yeah. Like accountant who's too good to keep her job.
It makes no sense other than, hey, it's a Christmas movie. Gotta have an elf. Stupid.
I loved so this multiple dream sequence, this cross-cut dream sequence that we were talking about, where like both of their jealousy is so hers makes complete sense because like he's flying around alone with like this 30-year-old woman who's constantly openly hitting on him. But then his counterpoint is like, well, like the son that I love dearly was made from an affair, and I'm going to throw that in your face.
Yeah,
Pretty messed up.
cameo, George Segal cameo in this one that I was not expecting.
George Segal dance cameo.
Yeah. He has like no lines almost, but he's just like,
He's like, you're just going to dress like Hugh Hefner and dance the tango. It's like, okay, cool.
also, not to get in the weeds here, but did the top of like, the sleeve of the dress of her Kirstie Alley's dress in that sequence like fit really weird? It was so ill, like it was like bad, like it wasn't tight enough, or I just felt like, wait, you're supposed to be so glam, like this dress should have looked great on you, and I thought she looked not great.
Yes.
yeah.
The second dress was good once she transformed in the dream.
Yes, but the first dress was like almost right, but like, why is this wrong? Like it didn't work for me.
It needed
Right,
to be
'cause
belted.
It was ostensibly supposed to be the sexier dress of like the evil, like I want to fuck Santa, but my father, like, yeah. But like it was very crow-like. It had like a bunch of feathers and like a weird hat.
It just felt like just make her look good. That's your job. Like this is like her kids. Why are you not dressing her well in the scene or something?
I feel like they always made each other. Well, we usually only ever saw like Kirstie Alley's version of John Travolta in these dream sequences, but he always looked ridiculous in those too. Like they never like he looked good, and he's always smoking a cigar. Like, is he always trying to smoke in real life or something? So that when she thinks he's off doing whatever, he's just smoking a cigar.
Nothing shows corruption like a cigar.
And
I feel like John Travolta looks a little haggard in this movie.
Oh yeah, he's getting older already.
He is.
I mean, maybe they're just going for it. Speaking to like the costume too, maybe they're just going for like, hey, these are supposed to be just like average middle-aged parents who are tired and like, like
Maybe.
they're going for realism,
They're going for realism for the where it's
For the
Christmas
dream-
for 3 months
For the
and
dream
multiple dream
sequence.
sequences.
One of the most unrealistic movies ever made. Yes.
Speaking of realism, you know how when you're sure that your partner's having an affair, that you bring the entire family up.
I mean, to me, it seemed the other way. Like she was so sure that he wasn't having an affair that she decided to drive the whole family and like quote, save him because she found out that the lady had lied about their location.
Right.
I didn't get that at all.
That's what you got? I didn't get that at all.
I thought she was going to confront him.
No, I got
then almost killed her entire family from exposure with the car being broken.
No, because she makes the phone call finding out that the Conti guy doesn't even have a cabin. So that's how she knew that.
Yeah, and the mom gives her like a speech being like, dude, this guy's not cheating on you. Like, come on.
I'm pretty sure she knew before she went.
I thought she was going to like save him or find him so that they could have Christmas with him.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
Yeah.
I didn't get that at all. I thought she was going to be like, fuck this guy. I'm going to go confront him.
You guys missed an entire scene of the movie.
Then why would she bring the presents and the dogs?
Yeah,
exactly. It was a weird decision. I'm with Tyler on this.
Yeah,
no, you guys missed a key moment.
Like a scene that would have fit perfectly within the rest of the movie.
No. You guys fell asleep during the Conti drunken secretary scene or whatever.
Yeah.
Where she was like, what?
That scene is where she realizes that she's been lied to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she realizes that the lady lied to John Travolta.
Yeah.
What makes you think that that's what she thought?
Yeah,
because of the speech, the heartfelt talk between her and her mom, where she realizes that he's really not cheating on her. It's just her own insecurities.
Yeah. And I don't think she would bring the presents again.
That's before that phone call, is it not?
Yeah.
And then
that's why she starts calling.
But like the mom like kind of like fucks up where she's just like, no, like in that case he wasn't cheating. Like I'm sure he's not cheating. Like, well, I'll call the secretary. And then she's like, there's not even a cabin. And she's like, oh no.
For sure he is. Also, I feel like if you were really in that situation and your husband like called and then you found out that what he called and told you was a lie, I wouldn't jump to the conclusion that I'm gonna believe him about I feel like there's a lot going on.
She was going to murder him.
She had a thing against that lady the entire time, so I feel like she would be more apt to think that lady is lying to her husband.
This is insane to me. I don't think I missed anything. Oh wow. Okay.
If there were a more negative option, I would be taking it. But I am so sure that Justin and I are right, that I am going with the more positive, like. And
why would you bring your kids to see that if she's gonna go? Like, I'm gonna bring my kids and go confront my husband.
So
like,
I was watching this with friends, and they were like, they remembered that part of it, and a friend that I was watching it with, like over Zoom, was like, yeah, like well, there's a point where my mom was like, oh, I think my dad might be cheating, and I was brought.
Oh no,
that's terrible.
Yeah,
terrible. I wouldn't do it.
I think this division of like reads on this is very interesting. And I totally can't see it your way.
She's not
even
mad.
Watch it on Hulu. Is there different edits out there?
Yeah, wouldn't she be totally pissed off when he shows up at the end and be like, what the fuck? Wouldn't she still be mad? She never finds out.
I mean, yes. if the movie was playing out logically, yes. But
logically your way. the way that you read the movie. Not the way we read it. The right way.
The dogs show up first, right?
Only one dog.
Yeah. And then so they meet up afterwards. After they were like, we might have died in the car. So she was just happy to see him.
She wouldn't she still be like, you were fucking that girl, I knew
it.
I came here to yell at you. She wouldn't. You think the near-death experience just totally changed her mind, and now she's like,
well, the movie
didn't
really treat it like
Christmas.
a near-death experience, although the wolves attacked multiple times.
It was a near-death experience for that dog, man. I gotta say, like the
There's
quality of the dog fight was pretty good.
There's no way that dog would have won that fight.
I thought he died for sure.
No, he would not have won. But I'm saying, like the stunt dogs did a wonderful job.
It was also
even
clearly
better than
a different dog.
Yeah.
As soon as they start to fight, like totally different dog.
I was still just like, oh no, not the dog. You know, even though I don't even like this dog, but
also just
harrowing.
like being broken down in the cold like that is so fucking treacherous. Like,
I was kind of
I
like,
thought this was gonna be like Misery. I just watched Misery not too long ago, and it was like the exact same car crash.
I was kind of like, when that happened, I was like, why is the movie doing this?
It's like way too serious.
Yeah, I'm
for
like, how are they going to get out of this? And like, why is this happening?
it's like this movie is 2 scenes away from Thomas Jane shooting the entire family in the head.
When Kirstie Alley gets back in the car and the dog is still fighting, I'm like, wow, you're letting your children watch this dog die. Like, because that's what's about to happen. Like, I get that maybe she was so scared of the wolf, but I'm like, you're just letting your dog die. You're not even like putting up a fight. Like, at least throw something at it, you know? Like,
I like that, you know, they continued down the road of getting like the worst voice actors to do any of the non-main characters.
Oh, God.
And there's a part when he's fighting the wolf where he's like, I laughed really hard when this happened.
Ow! My tail!
My tail. I was like, was that wolf so tough? I don't know. When he talk like that, my tail. Oh God, so funny, so funny. But yeah, I did think it was funny that they brought back the whole beeper thing, which was like a weird. The moment when his beeper went off and it like freaked all the dogs out, and then that's what calls the wolves off at the end.
yeah.
Weird.
God.
Chekhov's
writing.
beeper.
Great writing.
Also, like, why wasn't she worried that they were gonna die by just sitting in the car?
I don't know.
Well, because the dogs were going to save the day. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right.
But they would have died
Right?
just sitting in the car.
It was
Like,
so.
isn't it? It's better to like at least get up and stand on the road, right? So another passing car might see you.
I mean, in general, I feel like they overplayed the hand of like, I mean, they clearly needed to have some sort of crisis to make the dogs be the heroes, but you didn't have to have the crisis be so extreme that like death was, it's not just that they crashed in the snow in the middle of nowhere, but then they also add wolves. Like the crash is dire enough. You know what I mean?
And there's a meltdown of the nuclear power plant.
Yeah. Like
It would have been dramatic enough if she had just been like, we're crashed, and then she was just like, our only hope is to like send the dogs out to go find other people, you know? Like that would have been scary enough because it was freezing cold and like
I just
they're in a
thought,
car.
yeah, I
with
thought it was
small
really.
children.
I thought it was really dark when she was like, "All right, just sing a happy Christmas song and sing as fast as you can." And then like once she goes outside the car and sees like that there's nothing she can do, she's just out there dancing, trying to make the kids happy while they're dying inside the car.
She's like, "What's that on the ridge? It's a
She's like,
sniper."
Yeah, I was like, "Wow, this is getting pretty dark." Okay, I don't know about this, but they all survive at the end, and Santa's real. So there you go.
Santa is real. We can confirm.
It's undeniably real.
Those Forest Service guys were pretty clutch, though. Like it was very good of them to follow the dogs,
Sure.
save them, then take them back, let them spend the night in their cabin, and help keep up the illusion of Santa for the children.
Yeah. And they had cookies and eggnog in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Which, if there's a kid that likes eggnog, I'm going to be like, I don't believe you.
How close did this movie get to being sued by Disney
I don't know.
for their Lady in the Trampiness?
Oh,
Yeah, that's why she doesn't eat Italian. She
Yeah.
decides to go Chinese at the last second. Because I was like, they cannot eat Italian. Even I was like, they wouldn't dare. You know, like, and then thankfully they didn't.
We haven't really talked about one of the more delightful details of this movie, and that is one Charles Barkley.
yes. Plus Charles Barkley.
I actually really like that whole thread.
I do too. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, that was like, one of the cutest moments that the girl, she's sitting in front of the TV like so intense, and then like we get to see in her mind that she's having this fantasy about like beating Charles Barkley
Yeah, like she has like
on one-on-one in basketball.
her favorite tape is like a taped NBA playoffs with the Suns and Charles Barkley.
Yeah, and her favorite song is probably How I Beat Shaq by Aaron Carter. Which doesn't exist yet, but
It's obviously the
guessing.
Space Jam soundtrack. She has Basketball
Yeah.
Jones.
I wish they had brought it back somehow in the end with the basketball stuff. And then I wish that her mom had not been so reductive, being like, why do you like basketball instead of ponies and rainbows or whatever she said to her.
And she's like, no, like, let her play basketball. She'll be amazing.
Yeah,
No, I really wish she dunked on some wolves at the end.
Also, no,
she should have got a basketball for Christmas and then thrown it at the wolves.
Yeah.
It also it has to be some sort of child abuse to make that poor girl do a transsexual joke. That was terrible.
Knock,
that was terrible.
Who's there? The entire punchline is just the word transsexual.
And I was like,
what is the punchline to that joke?
I don't.
I think that that was a kid saying a word that was unacceptable for most people at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There wasn't actually anything after the who.
No, she didn't say anything else.
No, I know, but they didn't even let her say transsexual who. Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, kids say the darndest things. Like, what a filthy word she just said.
I felt really bad because
it's truly awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just imagine everyone laughing in the theater for that, and I was like, she's probably really ashamed, which is unfortunate that would have happened, but
child abuse.
Child abuse.
I mean, I don't know. Did you look up anything about the writer and the director?
No.
It's a different director.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah. No more Amy Heckerling. She would not have allowed the CG sperm scene that we got or whatever that was.
True.
I would
The
agree
animated
with
sperm.
that.
It's terrible.
Dog sperm. I did look him up. Gentleman director.
He didn't do that many things, I don't think.
No.
You don't say.
You don't say. The movie was not successful.
And for Tom Roboleski's IMDb, says he's a screenwriter, producer, and director, best known for Look Who's Talking Now,
Oops,
Loverboy, The Next Best Thing, and The Kiss. In 2006, the Hollywood Reporter reported that he was working on a film called Game Boys. However, as of 2018, the project remains in development hell.
Aww.
Oh, because they were like, Game Boys don't exist anymore. Figure out. Call it something else.
Oh, he is married to the screenwriter for Mrs. Doubtfire, the reboot of the Thomas Crown Affair, Pay It Forward, and Hairspray. Pay It Forward, famous for being a film shot at a Las Vegas high school.
So he's the one riding coattails.
Yep.
There's another Hairspray connection too. Tabitha Lupien. I'll just do the child star check-in now.
Do it
on this. Tabitha Lupien, who plays Julie, she was in Hairspray as one of Brittany Snow's hench girls, like one of the two people that flanks her at all times. And then I don't know. Did you guys recognize her from any other sequel rights movies?
Sadly, no. Which
How
one?
about Christmas movies?
Oh no!
One of the Cinderella stories?
No, she's the little girl in the first Santa Claus that goes up to him in the park and just assumes that he is Santa and immediately demands ballet slippers.
Oh, I did see that she was ballet girl. Yes.
Yes,
Nice.
ballet slippers girl. Yeah. And she's continuously been acting in Canadian things and other small things this whole time. And she is currently filming a show or series about making movies. So I don't know, but I think it's supposed to be clever because the last name of her character is Foley in the thing, the description. Yeah. And then, okay, so like David Gallagher is, although, hold on, like Tabitha though, I thought for some reason her relationship with Kirstie Alley was like really, really good, like way better than any other like relationship that we've seen with the kids have with the adults so far. She just was very affectionate to her and like seemed to be good at acting like that was her mom. I don't know. You didn't think so?
Maybe they fell in love on set.
No, I thought she was good. I thought that she was it was remarked in the people that I was watching with that she was not the cutest movie baby.
I thought she was pretty cute.
Cruelty.
Yeah, that's messed up.
But no, I thought that they were very good.
Yeah. So David Gallagher obviously becomes famous with Seventh Heaven, which
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I don't know why he's famous.
oh
You didn't recognize him? Oh man.
so yeah, he's on Seventh Heaven. He is Simon, and just thinking about Seventh Heaven like reminded me that like a story about a family that was religious like was just regular, that like everybody watched even if you weren't really religious back then. And like it kind of just made me think about like how now like all of the religious media is specifically like for that audience only, and it's like so far out there. Because I was like,
Breakthrough.
Pastor Camden never brought anybody back to life out of the ice, or like he was just doing their little small town stuff. And obviously he turned out to be like a nasty molester, the actor.
Yeah, I was just like, is this the point where we just make a hard pivot to true crime and we talk about that case?
I mean, that's an insane case, and he sucks, and that's why they don't show the show anymore. But like, I totally used to watch it all the time, even though I was not really involved in any like church stuff. It was just like another teen show.
It was also hard to avoid in that period of time. I mean, it was like really, really everywhere.
Yeah, and so that show was on the WB at the time, and when Pokemon movies started coming to America, Warner Brothers was a distributor. And so there was so much like synergy. And I don't know if I've talked about this before on the podcast, but I won a postcard mail-in contest to KTLA 5, which is WB, to go to the premiere of Pokemon the Movie 2000 in Westwood. And I was able to like actually find a YouTube video of this, but I didn't have time to actually like scour every shot to see if you could see me in the audience. But it was like a pre-show concert with like Youngstown and Nobody's Angel performing their Pokemon songs.
Whoa.
And like, go ahead, Tyler.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, I also won through my local television station a preview screening to the Power Rangers movie that we did talk about. And Justin, don't disappoint us. What movie through your local television station did you win?
Nothing. I'm a loser. I invited Sarah Michelle Gellar to my high school graduation, I think, and got one of those like fake postcards back.
Oh my god!
Do you still have said fake
I never knew this before.
Probably somewhere. My parent. I bet it's back in my house.
Oh my god!
My parents.
Wow.
Get Kathy to find it.
I demand this.
I'm disappointed. I thought that, of course, all three of us movie nerds wrote to our local television stations and made it to some dumb premiere.
I wish.
So, okay, wait, the reason that I even bring this up is because David Gallagher was one of the special guests that they like trotted out on stage to be like, yeah, Pokemon is like really cool. And then like just like walked out. This is like a TV special too. But the whole thing was hosted by Kel Mitchell.
Yep.
And
Before he became a priest.
And of course, my poor parents had driven us to this concert from Placentia to Westwood and had to, stand there in the crowd with us or whatever. And Kel, for some reason, announces like David Gallagher, and he's just like, yo, David Gallagher, yo, David Gallagher. Like he says it like over and over again, which of course then caused my dad, probably to this day, if David Gallagher came up in conversation, but for at least a decade after, to always be like, yo, it's David Gallagher. Like every time there was anything with like Seventh Heaven or anything about him, like that was like an oft repeated line.
That's great.
Of obscure television special in our family.
Oh my God, David Gallagher is evolving.
Yeah. So like I cannot hear this kid's name without hearing like yo. But he did go to USC. We were there. We overlapped by 2 years, but I never saw him. And I'm not sure if it was him or the famous Jet Jackson, but one of them supposedly dressed in all white in the time and was in a cult and wouldn't talk to anybody. But I can't remember which one it was.
Yikes.
I hadn't heard the phrase "the famous Jet Jackson" in.
Yeah, he unfortunately took his own life, but David Gallagher is still kicking. He graduated from USC, I think. He most of his credits in the past 10 years or so are the voice of Riku in 85 million Kingdom Hearts sequels and games. Because that series is very good about always asking the same people back to do the voices, even for the game where they're in it for 2 seconds or whatever. And then he's currently in pre-production on a cop show that he is the star of.
Eighth Heaven.
Yeah, maybe. The eighth circle of hell.
They found another one, you guys. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my David Gallagher experience.
Nice. That's so funny.
Is there anything else with this movie? Like, I feel like that we didn't talk about anything, but also we kind of talked about everything.
Yeah, I mean, I do love that we like barely talked about the dogs because it's like that they're
They're
even
the B
important.
plot.
Yeah.
Well, we need to hear like from Megan as the parenting expert for our podcast, what she thought of John Travolta and Kirstie Alley's parenting.
I need to pay my dues for being here, you mean?
Yeah, Justin, you're not a parent. Get the fuck out of here.
As the owner of a cat, what do you think about these two dogs?
I mean, I will say that the whole having only one child currently, the whole having a pet thing is super clutch, and that relationship is adorable. And he talks about our son talks about our cat Bogart all the time.
Nice.
And that relationship is fully intact and they are fully playmates. So that is like a real thing. I mean, I found John Travolta to be just heinously unbelievable, as I've already stated. I don't know what I like have like a weird kind of soft spot for Kirstie Alley in general. I don't know why or where that comes from, but like, it's like, I find her to be likable. I find her to be likable in this movie. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like her wardrobe was like weird overall, including the dress thing. But in general, I know that it was a weird, like the year, okay, she's dressing for like her age in like the early 90s, like whatever it is we're dealing with. But like, her wardrobe I didn't get. She also, it's not like she weighed like a million. I know she had the whole like weight thing later, but like she wasn't huge in this movie.
Right.
She could have just
Yeah, I think she was still doing cocaine at this point.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
like I had the whole thing like didn't make sense to me wardrobe wise for her, but or for Travolta for that matter.
Yeah, that tie, the light up tie.
No,
that he
they're
has?
all dressed insanely.
Yeah, it was kind of, and then she's like when she dresses him for the job interview and he's in like that pretty hideous chocolate brown suit.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would she choose that? Like, it's not 1979 or even like 82.
Yeah.
Like, where does this like gross chocolate brown suit come from? And why?
He was also wearing a normal suit. Just give him a normal tie, or just like don't wear the tie.
Like, what's happening here in this?
It wasn't
really
even like weird 90s fashion. It was just like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. I think weird 90s fashion would have been more fun and more flattering potentially.
Yeah.
But I
It's also
did
oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say that, like, I know I said this in the very beginning, but the whole, like, opening scene, which I thought there was going to be more of, like, our life is crazy with kids thing, even though I know that it was going to be about pets. But that was kind of limited to that opening sequence. And it was, like, it felt like theater, like in a really forced way. Like, okay, you have 2 kids and it's bath time. Like, I don't like, okay, like
we're like a Roman god was going to descend from the rafters and be like, it is now bath time.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt like, okay, we're having this like funny, like the part where the water comes out of the the camera stationary and the water like pops out of the bathroom and like splashes on the floor. It's like, this is poorly done and like feels like a gimmick, and like it just didn't work for me. And I would have liked that to be like more real or more funny, which bath time is crazy. And we only have 1 2-year-old and it's like a wet, wild, crazy, naked kids running around time. But I thought the opening was kind of weak.
Yeah. We're not watching Cheaper by the Dozen here, which I think,
fair point.
which I think also has sequels, but yeah, and remakes.
It's insane to me that Travolta did this either concurrently or directly after Pulp Fiction.
What? Oh yeah.
That is mind blowing. That's a mind blowing thing.
Yeah.
Do you think he felt like he had to do this? Like this? Why did this? How did that happen? It's very.
I feel like it might have. It almost had to have shot before. Like it almost had to have. Like I feel like that the release of it, they must have done it earlier, and then like, they were still messing with it, and then he got wildly popular again, and they're like, oh yeah, let's release it.
Honestly, it might also answer some of the issues of like why the plot is so weird and why like the certain aspects of like the dogs are so like weirdly subjugated and like things don't
and just completely separate movie. Yeah.
It does feel kind of like they went back and tried to fix it.
Yep.
You know, like let's make this a better movie. We'll pay for Diane Keaton. That'll do it or something.
Yeah, it almost feels like it could have just been like B-roll from the second movie that they made into a third movie somehow.
Yeah. But hey, they got to try to cash in on that Christmas money. But the movie did terribly. I think it made $10 million on a $22 million budget or something. Woo! So,
yeah.
I read in the Wikipedia that it was up against Nightmare Before Christmas that weekend it came out. So, yeesh, yeah. But
speaking of Christmas, I mean, Justin, you got to take us through this music thing.
What music? What music thing are you talking about?
This music video.
Yeah. So the Wikipedia talks about how like they David Gallagher and what was the girl's name?
Tabitha Lupian.
Tabitha Lupian did like some promo music video with this French artist named Jordi. And I was like, oh man, I gotta look this up and see what the heck this is about. The song is called It's Christmas, C'est Noël. And you know,
is this a promotional video for the film? What are we talking about?
Yeah, promotional.
Yeah, well, apparently it rolled over the credits in some cases or something, but it certainly is not part of this Hulu version that we watched.
Yeah, it's definitely a promotional thing because like also like Kirstie Alley and John Travolta are in it. Like very oddly, like they're watching everything happen in a dollhouse or something. I don't know. It's really weird.
Where did it clock in the TRL countdown?
Yeah, good question. Well, okay, the thing on Wikipedia, all it says is French singer Jordi performs along with David Gallagher and Tabitha Lupian, and I was like assuming it was like some established adult singer, and I will go and find the video on YouTube, and it's like a child singing like this weird, terrible like. I don't know, electro disco Christmas song.
David Gallagher is way older than him, and the girl might be.
Yeah.
But I guess this guy was a European one-hit wonder as a 4-year-old or something.
Did he win Eurovision as a 4-year-old?
It was just really funny because the video is happening and, this other kid is there. And I'm like, oh, they've got another kid singing like, that's cute. And then I'm like waiting for the actual artist to show up. And I'm like, oh no, it is the kid.
The kids of the world doll set does come to life though.
Yeah, it's this. It's very weird. The kid has magic powers where he's like making the presents come to life in bigger sizes, like a huge teddy bear. I don't know.
We're gonna post it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's very strange. Very strange. I was like the other music thing that I thought was really funny in the movie. That I was like hoping somehow they had found a song. There's that sequence about the mud. And they play some song that's like, mud, mud, woo. And I was like, man, what song did they find that people are singing mud in the chorus? But must have been something that the composer wrote, sadly. I was like, I want to put the mud song at the end of the credits. Well, it's like they licensed so much music in these movies that I was like, oh, maybe they found some random song.
They did run out of Beach Boys money, though. No more Beach Boys money.
I did, when the movie credits started, and I was like, wow, they lost the music budget and upped the animated credits budget. I thought for sure that there were going to be no licensed songs, but then there are licensed music, big songs.
Christmas,
like the
famous one.
Yeah, but they don't come in over the credits, which they did in the past. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there literally anything else?
I don't know. I just can't believe that, Tyler, you and Megan thought that this was a gritty revenge film, and Eliz and I were seeing it for the true family Christmas time.
You missed all those inserts of her loading bullets into her revolver.
You're like, I'm gonna get that.
Also, it's really supposed to be this for as family friendly as it should be for what an idiot Travolta is and how like G-rated they play down the affair stuff. Why make a PG-13 film then? Like, why have it be a PG-13?
Because they all were like that. Yeah, they all had like.
Can we talk?
Like,
so the thing. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, and if it's like for kids, like fix the Santa plot line so that it's like actually cute, like so that it actually makes sense that Santa is real, as opposed to like, but you already established that Santa's for sure fake, and then you have this like thing at the end to be magical. That's a joke. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like all three of the movies have this weird situation where it's like, I feel like it's being marketed as a family kids movie, but then when you watch it, you're like, oh, it's all about sex and there's inappropriate jokes all over the place. Like, well, I don't know.
All right, Michael Eisner.
Kids?
Honestly, at this point, like, I think the only reason they have to make it PG-13 is because of the animated sperm.
Yeah.
Back then, it was probably like even just the idea of sperm and eggs is like, oh, PG-13. You know, like.
Can we just talk about the mechanics of this fuck cabin setup that the CEO, she has to fly there. She must be flown. They fly there. The driver takes them to the cabin. The cabin is far enough away from the airfield that Travolta cannot walk there and cannot get anything else there.
She controls
However,
the weather.
It is drivable from New York City. So his thing where he's like, I can't find any pilots. It's Christmas Eve. I can't get there. She could have just got a limo. Like, it would have been fine.
Maybe they didn't start in New York.
No, come on. That is what Tyler's saying is 100% correct and ridiculous.
I mean, wait, were John Travolta and that lady in New York when she came up with the cabin?
He was friends with
facade?
all of the people in the airport.
That's
as
true.
if it was his
had to have
home
been
airport.
the home airport. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm trying too hard to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I really appreciate your valiant effort to make this film work, though. Like, you're really,
and it's just,
really
but then
No,
later,
Justin and I are still right about
the Wikipedia agrees with you. I will say that.
Okay.
When the dog shows up, he's like, "Oh, I just could have walked down to the 7-Eleven." It's like there was a fucking 7-Eleven, Travolta.
That was a joke.
Just walk down there.
It was a joke. He said that as a joke.
Yeah,
okay,
that was a joke.
I do think that like one of the first things I would do if someone's like the phones are out, I would probably check the phone cord.
Yeah.
But he misses that fact.
I also love how like he has one layer of defense where he's just like, I'm so dumb, like I'm suspicious, and then she's like, are you? And he's like, no, I'm not. Like, let's dance now.
Yeah, why would he dance with
if it's a vacation home, it would not be that weird for them to unplug the phone, like if they were leaving for however long. So yeah, of course you would check to make sure things are plugged in and like.
Yeah, there's no way I'd just be waiting there. I'd be like, all right, well, I'm going to be walking to wherever I need to get to.
Also, she clapped on the fireplace. How'd she know that? How'd she know that this could happen in this other guy's cabin? You know, come on. Travolta,
as we established, it's her fuck cabin.
True. Speaking of sexual chemistry, these two dogs had no sexual chemistry, and their voice actors even less, because like there's no way that Diane Keaton and Danny DeVito are ever getting together, and the two dogs portraying it did not make it believable at all. Like I think. And it's almost like unclear too, except for like they sort of mention it, and like it would have been so much better if they just made the dogs like friends that came to appreciate each other like as brother and sister or something like that, you know, like because it made no sense for the dogs to have a romance.
I mean, again, it feels like it's a separate movie that they shot after they had this footage.
Well, also, we didn't have enough time with the dogs to even know like what their personalities are to see if they really vibed, you know.
Yep.
One's fancy because it's a poodle.
Yeah.
Also, like, who wants to watch a poodle run around for a whole movie? Sorry.
No one
saying that.
No, it was the dog from which movie is that? Oliver and Company? Aristocats? Who has the fancy poodle dog? Oliver.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I just like would have preferred it. I know it has to be fancy, but like, well.
Yeah. Well, Tyler.
How many unplugged fax machines would you give? Beethoven 9. Look who's talking now.
Unplugged fax machines. Oh, God.
I'm going to give it 3 unplugged fax machines. I found it to be tedious and somehow and redundant, while also being unwhimsical.
Unwhimsical is a very good word for what this movie is.
You heartless bastard.
It really captures the clunkiness of the movie.
I mean, I'm gonna I had to be like more generous because I gave the other one a 5, I think, and I think this is better than the second one. I'm sorry, it's better. Leonard Maltin agrees with me. No,
He doesn't know
like it's definitely. I think it's even neither is good, but this one at least didn't really like offend me. Whereas, hold on, I still have it written down from last week. The last week where the guy walks in the room and says, "I hate these damn Orientals" for no reason. Okay,
Right.
This at least didn't have like random unnecessary racism. They got rid of the gun-toting brother, and the kids are cute. I think the peril or the emotional journey that these kids have to go through is like at least an interesting like plot. That
he has to go through like 3
ends.
denim jackets.
Yeah. Whereas the last one was just like a random assortment of like stupid stuff, and so I like.
So you think this movie was improved by Bruce Willis not being in it?
No, not really, but like at least it made sense as a movie, I guess.
And it wasn't openly racist. That's fair.
Yeah. So I guess I have to give it 6 Bergen fax machines because we think we gave it 5. I gave the other one 5, and then we gave the first one 7.
Dang. I'm gonna have to agree with Tyler on this one.
That's one of the most shocking
You
reviews
would
I've ever
rather
heard
watch
from you.
the second one again than watch this?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I think
no
so.
fucking way, man.
This one's longer. At least the second one's short, which is great. This one's longer, boring. Christmas for no reason. Yeah, I don't.
Eternal Christmas for no reason, and like their relationship is inverted and set back 5 years for no reason.
Yeah, I just I feel like the magic is gone in this movie, and audiences agree with me. I don't care what Leonard
Santa
Maltin
isn't
thinks.
real.
Audiences agree with me. They didn't turn out for this one, and neither will I. Yeah, so I think three unplugged fax machines that I'm just gonna trust are unplugged and never check. Megan, what about you?
I definitely can't go higher than 3 unplugged fax machines. I feel like unwhimsical is like a perfect word to describe this movie. It should have been cute. It should have been a little magical with some whimsy, and it was none of these things. I feel like there was probably better footage shot, and then it all didn't make it in or something. Like there's no way someone could have intentionally created this.
That's a charitable.
So you're saying that the B-roll that they literally cut and left on the cutting room floor, if you just assembled it randomly, would be better than this movie?
It's not their fault. They left out the best scenes. I just know it.
It wasn't. It was not good. It was bad. It was bad.
I mean, I agree with that sentiment.
By the way, the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is a difference of 32 or 29. So I feel like that is statistically insignificant, and it's like a wash.
It might as well be an aberration. Yeah.
Doesn't it have a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Well, the critics, because I don't think any critics have reviewed it. But the audience score is 29%.
I will tell you
as
that
opposed to 32% for Look Who's Talking
it's
To.
so uninteresting that there's not even a Common Sense Media article about it. So
No.
the parents don't even watch it.
May contain dog sperm.
Yeah, you'd think that there would be an article about this one, but there's not.
Well, that's going to be the end of Look Who's Talking. Do we have some franchise-wide thoughts?
If you guys invite me back for movie number 4, I want to do a first movie next time. Like, I want to be in a good movie.
Hey, you were Step Up to the Streets, right? Like that is
okay, that was a solid movie.
That's
but
true.
I worked on that. Okay, fair. But yeah, Bridget Jones, the whatever one I did, and this one less so for me.
You're on the baby one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, resident
Yeah.
baby expert. Megan.
I do feel like the first movies are usually better, but not always.
This could have been good. We had no idea. We didn't know
Well,
it was a
that's why
Christmas
we watched
movie.
them, and that's
we
why,
had a decent idea.
that's why this is a valuable podcast, because you never know. That
Exactly.
said, I think you sometimes kind of maybe can.
Just be happy you don't have to be on for everyone.
We should have known when they put a question mark at the end of the title. Look who's talking now.
No?
I didn't even notice
quite
that.
sure.
There's not a question mark. I was
Oh,
joking.
I was like, it's an exclamation point. With a dog paw
Look
under
who's
it.
talking now.
No.
Yeah. Joke.
So
I mean-
this series, I don't know.
Watch the first one and just stop. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think I would rank them, just in the order they go. It's like
No, this one is better than the second one. I'm sorry.
you're
I did
outnumbered.
not care at all about the brother and the friend.
Does it say something good about the franchise that I'm kind of curious to go back and watch the first one after having this call?
It's
I think
super
you should.
interesting with Amy Heckerling and the movies that she's made and doing Clueless after this and kind
Yeah,
of having
for
the same
sure.
people. So
Especially-
like just that and some of the dream sequences are really fun in the first movie for sure. In the second movie, less so, and not at all in the third movie.
I mean, if you like Kirstie Alley, then she's way better in the first movie.
Yeah, the first
The-
one
the-
is the best.
The first movie is a legitimate
And there's
classic.
some true comedy
Um,
in that one, which with George Segal
All right,
and
well,
stuff.
I'm going to go back and rewatch it.
I think it's also on Hulu, so there you go.
although
whole
it does have
series
some
on Hulu.
insane elder care plot lines, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Abe Vigoda. They should have brought him back. I'm still
Yeah.
saying that.
he was around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, these all are on Hulu, but like me, if you watch them on Hulu, Hulu will be convinced that you want to watch 90s children's comedies for the next month or
What'd you get
whatever.
served up?
Oh, I blocked it out. I scrolled by and was like,
Nope.
no. But yes, you should email us because we need to know which franchises we should do for later this year at sequelrights@gmail.com, and find us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Sequel Rights.
And please plug in your fax machine and rate and review us on the Apple Podcast Store app.
Yes.
I don't know the terminology, but 5 stars goes a long way. Helps other people find the podcast, or just tweet out your favorite episodes or share them whatever social media that you use.
Fax us your reviews. That's honestly the fastest way to get them to us.
That's the fastest way to get it to us.
That's the faxest way to get it to us. Do we even know what we're doing next?
No.
I didn't. Yeah, so it's
I don't
open.
think we do.
It's open.
It's wide
the
open.
lines are open.
Megan, thank you for being here.
Absolutely. I want to put in a vote for Homeward Bound for later this year.
All right.
Yes.
We need a break though from dogs.
Yeah, no, take
From
a break
talking
the
dogs.
Yeah.
Take a break from the dogs. But when you're ready to go back, do Homeward Bound.
Yeah.
And then will Bogart also make an appearance?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be great. Well, thanks for taking this journey through the Look Who's Talking series with us, valiant listeners. We
Thank you for looking at us while we talk.
you can't. They can't see us.
Listening?
They can't see us.
They're looking at the progress bar of the episode, being like, when's it going to be over?
Only psychopaths do that.
Look back at the road. Don't look at your phone.
That's right.
That's what we leave you with.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week.
I hear those sleigh bells ringling, jing, jing, jingling, jing. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together.